Hey everyone, welcome to the stream, welcome to another day, welcome to another video. Yes, it is Friday and it is morning time and we're gonna get some work done today. What are we doing today? Well, as you can tell, we are continuing the build of the 1/350 scale German battleship Tirpitz by Tamiya. This big long boy right here. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So, another day, another dime. This is what we got done so far. Okay, here's our main bridge section. Let me change our to this here. You can have a better look. That's what we got so far. We're getting there. We're finally getting there. Getting some stuff done on this little bad boy. It's ready to have the deck all masked off and get some gray paint on there. That's this. We got the funnel, as they call it, done. I threw a coat of primer on there just to see how it's going to look all nice and finished up, and so it looks pretty good. The detail is fantastic. I will admit that. Photo etching, yeah, fantastic. Does it take a long time? Oh yeah. I have spent over 40 hours, probably closer to 50 hours this week, assembling this little guy. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for a quick build, crazy amount of detail, yes, thank you, Yuala. If you're looking for a quick build, this ain't it. That's for sure. So, what do we want to do today, though? Well, I think it's finally time to go back to step 1 at the beginning of our manual. Now that I have the deck painted and I've cleared off the wood grain color on those little sections there where the anchor chains go, because those are not wooden, so those are the deck, the main hull color. So I think it's time to finally, they want this in step 3 to actually put this into the hull. So I think we're going to do that today, finally. As you guys know, I have the lower hull is painted already, a nice red color. I have those put on. I got the axle shafts, drive shafts for the props put in. Not painted yet though. Those are going to be a gold color. So let's get this thing glued in there. I think it's time. It's finally time. So it's going to be fairly simple. It fits perfectly with no issues at all. So let's grab our glue and get her put in. Pardon me. I also spent the rest of the evening yesterday folding up the other 5 or 6 anti-aircraft guns. Hey, Thruxed. Is it Thruxed or Thruxed? I can't remember. But anyway, good morning. Today we are gluing the hull and gluing the forward deck. Thruxed. Okay. I can't remember if it was the second one. Thruxed. Okay. I'll just call you Thruxed. So let's get some glue on here. Ah, perfect, thank you. Can make sure it's never going to come apart. I was looking at one of the sprues on this thing, wondering what possible things. Hope you had a good day. So far, so good. It's still pretty early in the morning. I've only been awake for a couple hours. So, yeah. Sure, she's all buttoned up there. A little bit of pressure just to hold it down. And we're just going to sit here for a minute or two. Yeah. Make sure this holds and stays. I might add a little bit more just to make sure it's going to stay, but I don't think I'm going to need any more glue. Pretty much. We'll see. If I remember correctly, the instructions want me to actually put a thing on the underneath of the turret, but I'm almost tempted to just leave them loose. I should ask my client whether he wants the turrets to be glued in place, or if he wants to be able to turn them or whatever to his liking. If it were me, that's what I would want to be able to do. So we'll see. I'll send him a message a little bit later and I'll ask him. At this point, it's not too hard to, if there is actually something. Yeah, there's a piece to go underneath. At this point, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's not to take it, get it under there, and then glue the gun down. This being the most forward gun, it won't be that, this isn't even the one that goes there. It's this guy here. Spent some time last night with the Tamiya epoxy putty. It's a two-part. This guy here. Two-part epoxy. I'd want to be able to turn the turrets too, yeah. That's why I don't want to glue them in place. I'd like to, even if it is possible to take them off, I'd like to have them just like that, and then you can, I feel like having them like that one day, and I feel like moving them the other day, that kind of thing. And if I can pull them off, that's not a big deal. That's just me. Anyway, two-part epoxy, use that stuff, and mixed it up, and tried my hand at sculpting. Why don't you go in there now? What's your problem? What is your problem? Problem is, there's more stuff in there. Because you want to be a jerk. Just because you want to be a jerk. I just realized something. I should get out of there. There. Okay, so tried my hand at sculpting for the first time last night, and I sculpted the little blast bags on each one of the turrets, the main guns anyway, and did that on all four of them, so they've got some blast bags on there. Unfortunately, doing that, you can no longer raise the actual barrels up and down. They do have it so that you can move them up and down if you want. You can position them however you like. But when, of course, they don't have the blast bags for that, so it's not accurate to the real thing if you don't put the blast bags on. Whatever. My client wants it as accurate as possible, so I tried sculpting the blast bags, and they do look pretty good. So there we go. We got the front part of the hull on, or the front deck. So I'm going to add a few things along the sides as per instructions, and so let's take a look at those. This ship actually has 3 anchors at the front, which is quite interesting. But we need to get F1. It's a little tiny rail of some sort that's going to go along the side here. F1. Let's take a look at those. F1. Where's my F entry? keys. Here's my F. I gotta change my glasses. Bear with me a moment here. Okay, F1, dink and doink, two of them. One, two. There's actually four because there's two F trees, but where on the side does this go? They just kind of show it here, like just pick a random spot and put it there. Attach F1 to both sides. Yeah, thank you. There's no guide as to exactly where it goes. You kind of reference it going like here, and that's it. Kind of like bang right there. Okay, good enough. I'm just going to put this over here so I can clean these up a little bit. Get the nub marks off. Would be nice if these had like a flat edge on one side, so I know which side to put against the hull. But they're just tiny little round rods. And that's all they are. But that's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to take this. And what I actually want to do, because I don't want to smear a bunch of glue on it, and the nature of this thing being so big, they said, oh yeah, you're going to sit for me. What I'd like to do, if I could get this to actually just sit in one spot, maybe I can do that. If I just put a little bit of glue like that, that will hold it in spot. So it goes right on the edge, but it actually goes down just a little bit. Okay, so now that's held there, I can use the thin glue. I'll do it on both edges. And there we go, we have our piece. Okay. Now I'll do the same on this side. So first, take our little rod. This one's going to be a little different, so looks pretty good. And once again along the top. There we go. So we got those on. Okay, so looking at our instructions, I have a few pieces that need to go onto the top of this deck. I actually have to touch up that little scratch right there, but I don't even know if you guys can see it. Yeah, I can a little bit. We've got pieces to go on here, so we have our little, what are these things even called? They are where the chain goes around. And of course I've pre-painted these. You have one with green stripes and one with orange. Why they have them different, I don't know, but they do. So those are ready to go on, but I want to take a look at my chains. Remember, I'm using real chain on this bad boy. Even though there is chain in the photo etch kit, it's not actual chain. This is real chain. You can see it actually moves and acts like a real thing. So let's have a look at it. Let's have a look. One is bigger than the other, so I'm obviously going to be using the larger chain. It's a good thing I unfolded this to see how it's held on, because I wouldn't have guessed that they got it taped on the back. One, of course, getting it off of here is a challenge in itself, isn't it? There we go. Oh, it's actually one long chain. Stubborn little shit. There. Okay, so I don't need it quite that long. Let's have a look here. I only need enough, like, to go here to there, like twice. So I give myself a little extra, that should be fine. Let's try trimming it right about here. Okay. That should be good enough. More than enough, that's for sure. Let's put it back in your little pouch. Alright, so we have our chains. Now what I can do is actually take a look at, the photo etch part to see how long it is, because it's pretty accurate. The photo etch kit has been pretty spot on when it comes to how much you need of stuff, how long things need to be, and how it all fits together. As you can tell, I've been doing some masking tape work around the gun perches in preparation for painting this thing gray, right? Did a little bit of that last night too. So, I want to take a look at our photo etch chain and see how long they are. So, they are number 301. 301, yes. Do. 301. Okay, let's find 301. That's going to be on screw number 4. There they are. So there's our chain. Do. Okay, so now I know that's how long it's going to be, each one. So I can cut these to that same length. Okay. Of course, I go and rattle the thing like crazy, so. There. And there's our last link right there. There we go. So there's one. And we'll do one more. It's lined up. Once again, that's our last link. There we go. Chain number 2. And a short little extra piece. Dingle dangle. Yeah. Let's put you down over there. Okay. So we have our 2 chains. And what they actually want is it to go like this to the anchor, and then it's going to go around here, and it's supposed to go into that little spot there. So that's going to be the fun part, doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it to there first. And which means I need some glue. That's not what I want. Okay. It's about time I switch to a new spot. Okay, where's my little dabber? There you are. Put a little dab of glue on there first. Just to make my life easier. Because I want it facing that direction. That's exactly the spot I want it. Okay, I'll let that sit for a second or two. Let that hold, and I'm going to add a little bit more glue to it, but just not right at this moment. Give that a moment to set, because as I tap it, it wants to move around, and that's not good. What we're going to do, similar, hey, don't you dare fall in that hole. Same treatment on this side, so that's a good size piece of glue. There we go. If I've done my job right, this is sitting there glued now. I can add some to it. Perfect. Alright, those are good. Now, I don't really want to play with it, I don't want to touch it too much. Did enough of that when I was young. Okay, so we have a couple of little guns, and we've already got our rope spools or cable spools on here. Those are done. I have some photo etch to add to the tops of a few of these. I know that much. And of course, railings. Railings. It's crazy, right? And of course, the anchors. But I want to get this part in here painted the hull color, because this is not wood in these little oval slots. So I have what color is this ship? I believe it's light gray currently. Let's do a little test. Shake these up. It might be dark sea gray. I'm not sure what color this thing's molded in. So we'll find out in a second here. I'll just do a little test splotch on the inside where it's not going to matter. That's the light gray. And dark sea gray. It's the light gray for sure. Yeah, for sure. Although the side right now, the sides is coated in primer, so it doesn't match anyway. I need to, in anticipation of spray painting this thing, I don't want to have to, I want that to already be the right color. But looking at it now, I see there's a little bit of a gap that needs to be filled in there. And there too. So what I'm going to have to do is put off painting for now and get my putty and fill it up. Where's my putty? You're over here somewhere, I know you are. Oh, there you are. So first thing I'm going to do is fill in this gap. This is supposed to be a gap there. Should be a nice smooth transition. Glue's holding good on the chain, as you can tell. There we go. Those are going to be flopping around a little bit until I'm ready to actually anchor down the other end. Okay, so now just going to wipe away a little bit of the excess, just to give my future self a bit of an easier time when it comes to sanding that down and smoothing it out. Okay. I kind of would like to get that to sit a little better. Let's get you back up on deck. Seems to be sticking up. It is sticking up just a hair. Okay, that means I need some thin glue. Let's have that sit down. It's just not a perfect seal, you know? Giving a little bit of a gap. And it's not the kind of gap that I want to fill in. I'd rather just have it mate up better. There we go. That looks better. Seam line along there is a little tighter now. That's better. I should do the same on this side though. Obviously just a few spots where even though I ran glue all along the side, it just didn't hold. So there's actually a couple of spots that are like that. That's why it takes a lot of patience to do these sometimes, right? There we go. That's better. That's not, still doesn't want to hold. Just give it a minute, okay? Give it a minute. This is where things like clamps and stuff really help, because they do the job of holding it for 5 minutes for you. So you don't have to. But sometimes the clamps are bulky, sometimes they don't want to, because of the angle of the thing, they just want to slip off. Nothing replaces your fingers, that's for sure. It's just no substitution. Let's see. That's better. Okay. All right. So I have to let that putty dry, which kind of means I'm done with the forward deck. So I think we can move on to the rear. And what I might just do, I don't want my chains flopping around, but I'm not ready to glue them in place. So what I'm going to do is, I think what would be best, just take you like this, and you like this, not over the hole. Well, actually it doesn't matter. Just have them like that. And just do that. And that way they're not flopping around and have too much pressure on those little spots. So let's flip her around. And let's take a look at this here. If we flip over the page, step number 5, because we've already made the guns, we've already done that stuff. I have the rear deck, and I got a few parts to put on the back too. So we got more F1s, but it looks like we actually have some things to rest them on the back, unlike the front. Looks like the F1s for the back actually go on these things and go across there. I'm really surprised I don't have ladders in the photo etched for out here. Then again, maybe I do and I just haven't looked at it yet. So I got to put those on, and I've got some little guys that go down here somewhere. Looks like this ladder. What was that? Oh, it's just my TV. Looks like a couple little holes here. There and there, or there and there. G7 and G8. Okay, well, let's grab our F1s from the other infantry. Get those put on. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, those are cleaned up good enough. So, glue. Let's tip her on her side here. She can stay. Yep, she's friendly today. And this just goes on top of them. It even shows the little arrows going on top in the instructions. So this is just going to go, I don't know if I can see it on camera here. Doink. This is going to go on top of it. Like that. just like that, right? So I actually could just leave it like that and use the thin glue instead of the thick. Go. So there's one side. Big beast to turn around. Make sure it's lined up just like the other side. There we go. Just like the others. This kind of thing I just want to make sure is never going to come off by mistake. Alright, done. Alright, so let's find our G7 and G8. Sounds like a summit meeting. Okay, G. That's K, and that's L. J, there's G. G7 and 8. It's these two guys here. Sure, just drop inside there. Okay, let's take a look at these and how difficult they're going to go and where they go and how they go and all that good stuff. So, we do not have a definitive side that this is going to go on. Okay, so let's see. Where do they go? Oh, where did they go, George? Where did they go? Yeah. Well, this guy is gonna go, I guess it goes right here. Like that. And then this guy with his little bendy part, he's gonna go, where does he go? Right there, I guess. Like that. That's exactly how he goes. So I am going to quickly that. Give that a second. Meanwhile, I'll get G7 and 8 off the other tree. Hopefully the other side is just as cooperative. Because that was beautiful how they just held together for me. Okay, so now that's had a moment to cure. I can add a little more glue to it. Which of course it did not actually hold together as nicely as I thought. And now it won't go back in its hole. Because of course my finger was stuck to it. Take these off so I can see closer. So the glue didn't hold at all, and now it's being a bit of a pain in my neck. But this time I made sure the glue is applied to the two parts and all that good stuff. Yeah. So if I'm right, I can now pull this out. Yay! Okay. I actually did drill these holes out, so you know what I'm going to do? Put this back in. This time making sure there's lots of glue on there. Okay, and I'm going to go one step further and add glue to this side. And now that's done. Our tiny little railing thing do or whatever the heck that is on there. the piece that will potentially be broken off in the next few days. That is basically, well, that's the reality of it, because even I set this on its side. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine, I'm fine. Yeah. Anyway. So, now, on to this other one. Now, because of the nature of this, I can't show you on this camera, sorry. Just because of the way my desk is set up, I cannot move it to a position where it's going to be easily seen by you guys, sorry. Maybe I can. So I need this a little bit closer to my face. Very large potential of this piece falling on the floor. And that is the one thing I want to prevent more than anything else. Let's see if I can get away with this. No, I cannot. Let's try this stuff. You guys watching me live, you get to watch me suffer through this. You guys on YouTube, well, I'll edit this so it's not doesn't take such a long process just to put this one part on. Just like the other side, add some glue on the inside. So that it doesn't accidentally fall out or anything, or in hopes that a tiny little bump won't be its undoing. Alright, so is that it for what we're doing on the rear deck? Well, I haven't even got to the deck yet, have I? But we can now. Ooh, turn her around. Turn her around, and let's grab our deck. There we have it, the rear. Or is it aft? This one fits in a little bit more snugly than the front, but there's still a little bit of gap that I'm going to have to hold it to do that. Again, if I have to, see, I can't quite reach it with my fingers. Or I mean, not quite, if he wants these to be permanent. Of course, if he wants them permanent, it's going to be a pain in the neck. I have to turn around and mask the turret off. Let's see. Let's grab that part. F6. 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So if I grab this, yeah, this is what I should have done before doing the front. That would go in here like that, okay? And it's like, woohoo, yay. How hard is it to put the turret on? If it's, I mean, it's just a matter of, yeah. It's just a matter of, yeah. Put glue on the inside there, and then do that. And there we have it. So what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to put this down. Put this aside just for a moment. Okay. And here's what I'm going to do. Put the turret down like that. You need a piece of tape. Do this. And then, I didn't make it long enough. Oh, it's fine. So now that's nice and centered in there. So if he does want it, I can glue it. Let's do a test here. Does it just push it down? If I glue that, I can do that. It's held in place, and then I can reach in here and grab that tape and pull the tape down, and then it'd be able to turn. What do you think, guys? I think that's a good idea. I think that might work. And I think that's what I should have done with the front one. Okay, so that's how we're doing it. Now if I want to take that tape off, I just reach in here and pull that tape down. That'll be fine. That'll be good. Okay. I could even add another piece of tape to it to make it even easier, but I don't think that's necessary. So, glue time. Oh, I might need some tape to hold it. No, I'm not going to. The test fit was perfect. Okay, now like I said, it sits down fine, but it's not going to hold it very well in a few spots. How did I get a drop of glue there? Actually, it wasn't glue. It's just water from somewhere. This side fits, the fit is flawless. This side is not. But I can fix that with some of this, some of this, some of that. As you can see, the one nice thing about adding the railings to it is it's going to hide, the railings will hide any tiny little gap you have going along the sides. So that is something to be considered, I guess. Now, of course, if I didn't want to sit here and hold this for 5 minutes, I could tape it. But I think this glue sets fast enough that I don't have to. This little gap I want to close up though, and I don't want to hold it, so I'm going to get a piece of tape ready. Got a gap right here that I want to close up, and I don't feel like holding it for 5 minutes, so careful not to put the tape on my little arms there. Okay. Alright, so let's go with the challenge of getting that little nub lined up at the front. Of course, I've got my tape holding my chains there now. So, how am I going to solve that problem? How am I going to solve that little problem? So let's assume he says, yep, I want to be able, I don't want the turrets to come off. So what is my solution? How do I solve the problem, the fact that I didn't put this on there first? Well, let's see. I need to have that taped in. And I want my tape long enough that I can grab it later. So there's that. And then we want this like maybe here. Now how do we get that to there, underneath? Well, the only way that I can think of is by turning this puppy upside down. Like this. And see, now there's the problem of sliding the tape forward, flipping it over. Here's a challenge. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. Don't worry about this later. I'll send him a message and I'll find out for sure. And then if he says yes, I'll worry about that. Because there you go. But I think I'm going to have to end it for now, guys. Got a couple little guns to put on. Of course, the main gun. A couple of tiny little guns that are going to go here and here. Now, of course, if I was using the kit guns to go here and here, they actually go a little bit further forward. They go here and here where I've taped up. But so I pre-drilled the holes, 1mm holes here and here in the back, in the rear deck. But I'm not using the kit guns, I'm using the photo etch ones, so I technically didn't need to drill the holes. But yeah, Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here, and that'll be it for now. And continue on. I'm going to send my client a message and see if he wants the turrets to be permanently fixed, or if he wants to be able to take them off and stuff. I think for moving it around, it's safer to be able to remove the turrets, like for traveling, for moving it, things like that. But he might want them to not be able to fall off if he happens to go like this with it. He doesn't want them to fall off. I don't know. I'll have to ask him, find out for sure. But anyway, I'm going to leave it for there. Leave it for there. Leave it for there. Yeah, I can speak English, really. I'm going to leave it there for now. And I'm going to get going. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming out. And usual spiel. If you like my videos, hit the like button, please. That would really be appreciated. And I got to give a shout out to Matthew Aiken. Thank you so much for your kind words on my Sazabi video and part 1 of this build. Thank you so much. The fact that I've inspired you to do something, it really means a lot to me. So thank you. That was really awesome to read that yesterday. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Matthew. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll continue working on some more of the photo etch stuff and things like that, and get that stuff all taken care of. Finally starting to look like a ship here. I actually have the mid deck that can actually go like here, and do a little bit of a test fit and a preview of what it's going to look like. Of course, it doesn't want to fit quite properly because I've got masking tape wrapped around it here, but that's kind of what it's like. Kind of looking like that. Put our forward bridge on that, and our little thing that's going to go like there. And that's kind of, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right? Guns here, and a gun here. Now don't roast me in the comments. I know these guns don't actually go in these spots. Yeah, we're getting there. We're starting to look like a battleship. We still have the rear bridge to do, and of course these photo etch parts that go down on here. It's actually the other way, but yeah, this big honking sheet has to get laid down on here, like that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it for today, and yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for coming out, thanks for the positive comments, and thanks for liking my videos, and thanks for the subscriptions, and yeah, so I guess we'll see you all in the next one.